So often, one of the biggest problems that I encounter when I work with my clients with ADHD is that they are trying to do things the way that they've been told to do them, the way that they're told they should do them, the way that works for everyone else, the way that works for neurotypical people. And it's a very, very, very common thing. People love us, they care about us, or they're teachers and they want us to perform well. They say, hey, Jack, you should do the thing this way because this is the way. And we buy into it and we go, yeah, okay, I'll just try it the way harder. This is a false economy for so many of us with ADHD because we have different ways. The ways that we do things are not the way that everyone else should. And I'll give you my favorite and a prime example of this. I was working with a client. He's in year 12, which in Australia is the final year before you go to, final year of high school before you go off to university. It's a big year, it's an important year, it's where all your grades depend on. And this kid, he was bright. I was so impressed with him. He was quick, insightful, he was really on the ball and his grades did not match. And I wasn't quite sure why that was. And in some areas he excelled, in others not so much. Very typical ADHD story there, but that's for another time. Now, what I was trying to understand was why he was able to do something so well and why others he struggled with. And a lot of it came down to the way that he studied. The way. Not what he did, not even more than anything, was where he did it. And his biggest problem was English. It was sitting and just reading the books, reading the assigned texts. He couldn't do it no matter how hard he tried because he was trying to do it the way everyone else did. Sit down at your desk, go through it. Boring! So boring, especially when they're texts, books that he didn't want to read, he just had to. So the whole thing, it wasn't that he was too dumb or wasn't smart enough to read the words or lack the discipline, because he just really, really, really didn't want to. The task itself sucked so much. So what did we do? We found ways to make it interesting. And here's what I asked him to do. He loved climbing trees, he loved exploring. I told him to go to a nearby park, climb up a tree, up a few branches, book in his backpack, get up there, settle in safely. Of course, I trusted him to be able to manage his own safety here. And sitting up there, perched in the branches, start reading and just see what happens. He came back to me a week later, telling me he'd read 2 books in 1 week. Whereas in the previous year of trying, he had read 0 books, trying diligently, constantly. As I understand, as I recall, English went on to be his top subject. In fact, this kid got some incredible grades in the end. And so much of it was that he had to find his way to do it, his uniquely ADHD way. And he happened to combine something boring that he could do easily, but it was boring, with something engaging that engaged all of his senses, engaged his sense of balance, gave him a little bit of thrill, anxiety, a bit of adrenaline, and something else to monitor with his extremely powerful ADHD brain that could do so many things at once and needed that extra stimulation. Being up in a tree, balancing, being aware of the movements, and just the kind of baseline exhilaration of doing something like that gave him the edge that he needed to not just read the book, but love the book, get so enthralled by it, really understand the content, really understand the material. And the moral of this story for you is to find your own way, and that this way very likely is not the way that everyone else is doing it. You may have your own ways, and do not be swayed by what you're told is the correct way or the way that you should. If something's not working, experiment. Try different things. Try radically different things. What have you got to lose? Try something a little bit crazy. You never know. It might be just the thing you need. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching today's video. If you like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I upload a new video every single day of 2024. And if you really love this, or you have a friend who's struggling with some reading and you think they need a little alteration in strategy, send them this video, share it around if you think it might resonate. And otherwise, I hope you found this really valuable. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care.